Donald Trump sat down for another one of these pre-recorded, very edited, extraordinarily orange and sweaty interviews. This was supposed to be an easy interview. This was supposed to be a softball with Maria Bartiromo. But even with the editing, even with the makeup, even with the cuts, Fox couldn't edit out Trump's decline, Trump's confusion, Trump's authoritarianism, and Trump's complete and total ignorance to reality. Here is Trump in a humiliating moment, proudly saying, we're doing coal. We don't want windmills. We don't want solar. We are doing coal.
Opened up coal. We were closing all our coal mines all over the country, and yet we still have a lot of coal. We use the generating plants of coal because it's the strongest, and we're doing coal. So we have everything, every form. I don't want windmills destroying our place. I don't want, these solar things where they go for miles and they cover up a half a mountain that are ugly as hell. And by the way, the panels are all made, and the windmills, they're all made in China. Okay?
There is zero economic justification for pushing coal in 2025. There's just none. Coal is inefficient. You can't convert more than 40% into electricity. Even with natural gas, you can convert 60%. New coal is more expensive. It has massive negative externalities like pollution, never mind the transportation of the coal. China is laughing at us as they hear Donald Trump proudly say, we're doing coal. Like it's a middle finger to, I don't know. It's just a middle finger to common sense logic, the environment, of course. But this is embarrassing. Donald Trump telling us that as soon as he wants to get trade done, all he has to do is send a letter. He's extraordinarily confused. He doesn't know what's going on. And Maria Bartiromo just nods.
And then I help China. So by reducing it.
We still don't know. We don't have the clarity on what you're going to do with these expiration of these pauses. July 9th?
No, I thought I just said it. No, I thought I just said it. You ready?
You're going to send the letters.
I'm going to send letters. That's the end of the trade deal.
I'm going to send a love letter.
I could send one to Japan. Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff on your cars, So we give Japan no cars. They won't take our cars, right?
They don't really like our cars. Most American cars aren't really practical in places like Japan or in Europe. They love this thing. They won't take our cars. Well, we really like massive gas guzzlers in the United States that, based on more accurate gasoline prices in Europe and Japan, the gasoline cost doesn't make sense. And based on the size of the average parking spot in Europe and Japan, these cars don't make sense. But Trump going, I'll just write a letter to Mr. Japan and it's all going to be over. Donald Trump says that Democrats who leaked intelligence should be prosecuted. When Maria Bartiromo says, well, who are you talking about? He goes, oh, we can find out.
You tweeted the Democrats leaked intelligence.
They should be prosecuted.
Who specifically? Do we know who did it? Will you be able to find out?
They can find out. If they wanted, they could find out easily. You go up and tell the reporter, national security, who gave it. You have to do that. And I suspect we'll be doing things like that.
Well, those pilots were...
So Trump, number one, even though he clearly doesn't know who did the leaking, assumes that it's Democrats. We don't know that to be the case. And of course, reporters are not legally obligated to turn over the identity of these people due to First Amendment protections. It's really just that simple. But the Constitution be damned with Trump. Trump going back several months to Canada should really become a state. He's really doing it. He's going back to it.
And hopefully we'll be fine with Canada. I love Canada. Frankly, Canada should be the 51st state, okay? It really should, because Canada relies entirely on the United States. We don't rely on Canada.
Mr. President, tell me about the significance of the Supreme Court ruling.
All right, so now they changed topics. Trump wants Canada to be a state. The topic of TikTok came up. Trump says, I've got a buyer. I've got an American buyer. When is he going to tell us? You know the time frame.
Percent or 40 or 50%. I would rather do that. So when I get
So we're not going to extend the pause?
I don't think I'll need to because I could. No big deal. It's like TikTok. I'm extending that, but no big deal. We have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll need probably China approval. And I think President Xi will probably do it.
Who's the buyer?
I'll tell you in about 2 weeks.
A big technology company there.
Very, very.
If you drank every time Trump promised an accomplishment coming in 2 weeks, you would be in real trouble from the standpoint of alcohol. That's for sure. We then get to a completely addled Trump. I don't think there's any way to even introduce this. Listen to this disoriented word salad.
So they had 3 main sites, and we knew they were going to have to either give them up. And I thought we could do it during negotiation, and we just about had it done. And then they said, we want enrichment. Enrichment doesn't mean like air conditioning, and it doesn't mean to jack up your car. Enrichment
Doesn't mean air conditioning, and it doesn't mean to jack up your car. Truer words have maybe never been said.
Is a bad word. And they said, you got so much oil, what do you need that for? And they said, well, we need it. And I wouldn't let that happen.
There you go. I dare you to make heads or tails out of that. And then finally, this is my absolute favorite. This is another one of these linguistic confusions. Remember when Trump thought that stealth bombers were invisible, not just to radar, but to the naked eye? Remember when Trump confused seeking political asylum with being a, quote, mental patient in a mental asylum? Okay, here's the latest one. Trump seems to think that uranium is physically heavy, like it's hard to move it around, probably because someone told Trump uranium is a heavy element from the standpoint of the periodic table of elements. And Trump goes, it's very heavy. It's super heavy.
Do you think that the Iran regime hid some of the enriched uranium before the strikes?
No. You mean, did they take it out of the deep one? No.
Because you were pretty clear you can't have a weapon. You're going to have to come to the talk. Something's going to happen.
I don't think they did. No, I think, first of all, it's very hard to do. It's very dangerous to do. It's very heavy, very, very heavy. It's a very hard thing to do. Plus, we didn't give much notice because they didn't know we were coming until just, then.
Trump seems to think it would have been difficult to move the uranium before the strikes because it's very heavy. But reports are it's just a few 100 pounds of uranium. Trump seems to be confusing the weight in the world of something, the raw weight, and that it is a dense element from the standpoint of atomic weight in the periodic table of elements. Folks, I don't know what I just don't know what to say. Completely in over his head. No idea. And Maria Bartiromo panicking, doing anything she can to make this something short of a complete humiliation. She failed, and Donald Trump failed too. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. All right, if you're a busy professional or entrepreneur constantly jumping between meetings or a manager, this is for you. Our sponsor, Plod, is redefining how we capture and process conversations. And honestly, it's one of the most impressive AI tools I've tried. Plod Note is a credit card-sized AI gadget that sticks to the back of your phone. It'll record your calls and in-person meetings, transcribe them automatically, summarize, and then even create visual mind maps so you can review the takeaways later without scrambling for notes. You can even talk to it and brainstorm ideas. Now, if you prefer something even more discreet, the Plod Note Pin is a thumb-sized wearable version you can clip on when you're running from room to room. Same amazing AI, just more portable. Over 700,000 people are already using Plod, including more than 200,000 managers who rely on it to boost their productivity and collaboration. Plod has a special deal for my audience. You'll get 10% off any purchase when you go to davidpakman.com/Plod and use the code PAKMAN. The link is in the description.